NASCAR is reaching one of those moments where everything feels like it's boiling over all at once. And if you've been following this season week after week like true fans have, you already know the atmosphere inside the garage feels completely different compared to just a few months ago. Because today, there are two major stories everyone is talking about. And honestly, both of them connect in a way that should grab the attention of every NASCAR fan. One story centers around a veteran driver who looks more frustrated than we've seen in years, with serious cracks beginning to show inside the team. The second story involves NASCAR itself stepping in with a decision that has fans, analysts, and even people within the sport debating consistency, penalties, and where the line should really be drawn. And once you hear the full details behind both situations, it becomes clear this is about much more than just one race at Texas. Before we dive into it all, if you're a NASCAR fan who enjoys these conversations every single week, make sure to like and subscribe to NASCAR Nation Report. The channel is brand new, and we're working toward our first 15,000 subscribers, with real fans who love authentic NASCAR discussion every day. The first story starts with Kyle Busch, because what we're watching from him in 2026 almost doesn't feel real considering the career he's had. This is one of the greatest drivers NASCAR has ever seen. A two-time Cup Series champion known for being aggressive, emotional, fearless, and incredibly competitive behind the wheel. That rowdy personality helped make him one of the most entertaining drivers of his generation.
But right now, Busch looks completely frustrated inside the number 8 Richard Childress Racing Chevrolet, and the concerning part is that the frustration is no longer being hidden. At Texas Motor Speedway, tensions exploded once again. Late in the race, Busch tangled with John Hunter Nemechek. After contact off turn 2, Busch drove aggressively into turn 3 and slammed into Nemechek, sending the number 42 hard into the outside wall. Immediately, fans began debating whether it was intentional retaliation or simply a driver trying to control a damaged car. Watching it live, it definitely looked aggressive. Later, Busch shared SMT data on social media in an attempt to defend himself, arguing that the telemetry showed he was fighting the steering wheel after the earlier contact damaged the car. Still, many fans weren't convinced. The reason this became such a huge talking point is because it doesn't feel like an isolated incident anymore. This is starting to look like a pattern around Busch and the number 8 team. Just weeks earlier at Martinsville Speedway, Busch was already furious with the handling of the car, and the frustration was obvious over the team radio. Then, things got even worse during a green flag pit stop when the team made a costly mistake that resulted in a loose wheel penalty, sending Busch to the back and ruining the day completely. You can feel the pressure building every week between Busch and RCR. After 10 straight races without a top 10 finish, the organization made a major change by replacing crew chief Jim Pullman with Andy Street. That's not a minor adjustment, it's a clear sign the team knows things are not working. Busch himself has publicly stated that the entire organization needs to improve if they want to compete consistently again. And when a driver of Kyle Busch's caliber starts openly questioning the competitiveness of the team, you know the pressure inside that garage has reached another level.
What makes this even bigger is the fact that this has now become the longest winless streak of Busch's entire career. Think about that for a second. We're talking about one of the winningest drivers in NASCAR history, suddenly unable to find victory lane. For longtime fans, it almost feels unnatural watching it happen. To make matters even more intense, 2026 is also a contract year for Busch. That means every poor finish, every emotional radio message, every controversial moment, and every incident on track becomes magnified. Because people across the sport are already wondering what the future looks like if RCR can't turn things around soon. And honestly, this kind of pressure-filled situation fits perfectly with the history of Busch's career. He has always raced right on the emotional edge. Fans still remember the confrontation with Ricky Stenhouse Jr. after the 2024 All-Star race. People also remember when NASCAR suspended Busch in 2011 following the Texas Truck Series incident involving Ron Hornaday Jr. So when another controversial moment happened at Texas, fans immediately started asking questions, which leads directly into the second major story. After the race at Texas, NASCAR reviewed several incidents for possible penalties. One involved Ryan Preece and Ty Gibbs. Preece was clearly angry with how Gibbs had raced him during the event, and he made that frustration known over the radio. A few laps later, Preece got into Gibbs' rear bumper and sent him hard into the wall.
NASCAR responded by issuing Preece a $50,000 fine along with a points penalty. According to NASCAR official Mike Ford during hauler talk, the reason was simple. NASCAR believed it was intentional retaliation. Officials reviewed the video, radio communication, and available data before making the decision. Ford even referenced the famous Denny Hamlin and Ross Chastain incident from Phoenix years ago, when Hamlin openly admitted on his podcast that he intentionally wrecked Chastain. According to NASCAR, Preece essentially said what he intended to do over the radio and then followed through with it. That's why the penalty was issued. But almost immediately, everyone started asking the same question. Why wasn't Kyle Busch penalized too? Even Dale Earnhardt Jr. publicly questioned the decision. This is where NASCAR's explanation became especially interesting.
But NASCAR also made something very clear. Kyle Busch is running out of benefit of the doubt. Ford openly stated that NASCAR plans to speak with Busch, Brad Moran, and leadership at RCR, because this is now the second time in only 4 weeks that Busch has been involved in a post-race penalty review. That statement alone says a lot. When NASCAR publicly starts talking about a driver losing the benefit of the doubt, it means officials are paying very close attention moving forward. There was also another strange moment after the race involving a photo of John Hunter Nemechek circulating online, where his face appeared bloodied. The image spread rapidly before later being removed, and rumors quickly started about a possible fight after the race. NASCAR later clarified that Elton Sawyer spoke directly with Nemechek and there was no evidence of any physical altercation. NASCAR security was reportedly nearby as well. Still, the fact fans even believed a fight may have happened shows how heated this entire situation has become. And honestly, this feels bigger than just one race at Texas. It feels like a turning point for Kyle Busch. Nobody questions his talent, his passion, or his competitive fire. But right now, it genuinely feels like frustration is starting to overwhelm the entire team. The cars haven't been fast enough. The results haven't been there. The chemistry inside the organization appears shaky. And now NASCAR itself is warning Busch that patience is wearing thin. For fans, it's tough to watch because Kyle Busch is one of those drivers who makes NASCAR more exciting when he's competitive and fighting for wins every week. Love him or hate him, the sport is simply more electric when Rowdy is in the middle of the action. But if RCR can't fix these problems soon, this season could spiral into something far uglier than anyone expected. And with the playoffs getting closer every week, the pressure is only going to continue building. Let me know what you think in the comments.